Hi, thanks for watching. It's the Lipstick Gal. I'm going to continue on my makeup purge, a declutter that I started doing, and I wanted to get into my foundations. I think I've got a whole box here full of foundations. These are all the ones that are either literally foundations or products that are coverage based that aren't concealers. All right, so I'm just going to start with what's on top and we'll go from there. All right, so this is one of my absolute favorites. I think that at a drugstore price of $8, this is the best cushion there is at the drugstore. I use it with the Beauty Blender. I think it's fantastic. That's something I'm keeping. I just started using this again. This is the BIY from Clinique Blend It Yourself Pigment Drops. So these are, you know, probably very much inspired. You have to shake it really well. Probably very much inspired by the Cover FX. These guys here, the custom cover drops. So this one here, you get a ½ an ounce. Here you get 0.34 of an ounce. So a third of an ounce, a ½ an ounce. This is just over $20. This is $40. I feel like you're getting more for your money here. I've had this for way too long. I thought these were great. I don't know that I had the right shade. I had N20. Probably could have gone just a hair lighter, but I didn't love the texture of this. This is so old now. It's like goopy and gross. I'm not even going to open it up. So these are getting tossed, but I really like this, and I find that I can mix this in with sunscreen on the days I want just light coverage, like one drop in with my normal amount of sunscreen on my face after I finish all of my skincare, and it just kind of nicely evens out things. Works really well. If I want more coverage, I'll add it in a little bit more, sometimes with a different foundation, so to get more coverage. I really do like this. All right, from there, I do love the CC cream from IT Cosmetics. This is the CC Illumination, and this is in the shade Fair. It's dark for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's a hair dark. So I do add something that's lighter in to kind of help counteract that, but I like the way that it wears, and I probably should use like the matte like right down the middle and this on the cheeks and everywhere else, but this is the one I'm gonna use, the one I'm gonna keep. All right, from there, these are my two, like if I want a flawless finish, I kind of mix these two together. These are my two favorite Lancome foundations right now. We have the Tanti Doll. This is the 24-hour makeup, and this one here is the Tante Miracle. So this is more of your lit from within, and this is more your, it says like it's supposed to be matte. I don't think it's really matte. I think this is more like a satin finish and a long wear. The 24 hours, definitely not 24 hours, but it wears really well. But I find that I get the perfect combination of long wear with a little bit of luminosity when I mix these two together. They're not exactly the same shade. The matte one is 90 and this one is 100. 90 is the lightest shade they make. And this one's, I'm basically halfway between these two shades. Too light, too dark. Mix them together, I get perfection. So I'm hanging on to these guys. All right, from there, I'm getting rid of this. I've had this for a long time. It's a CC cream from Clinique. I've had it too long, it's time to pitch it. From there, I don't know. I actually really liked this. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I have, and I don't know if it's still the lightest shade. Everyone's expanding their shade range, and to that, that's all I can say. More of that. Lighter, darker, everywhere in between. We need more shades so that people don't have to mix to find their perfect shade. And I think that catering to lighter skin tones, especially when it comes to drugstore foundation, has been extremely unfair. So I love seeing the darker, richer, more undertone appropriate, because a lot of times they'll have darker shades, but they look crazy on people. So I love that everyone's being more aware of that and more inclusive. And when I bought this, when it first came out, it was the lightest shade they had at 110. I don't know if that's still the case. It would probably still work. I liked this, and it's from normal to oily. I think I'm going to try that again. I haven't tried that in so long. All right, I got this and I never used it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's from Almay. It's their CC Cream Smart Shade in the shade Light. I don't know, it comes out white, which is kind of weird. You know, it comes out and then it blends in. It doesn't really come out white. It used to come out white. And then it blends in. I still think even that's too dark for me. That's another reason to get rid of it. Goodbye. One of my favorites, I love this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Light Wonder. And this is in the shade 1 Fair. And this is sheer enough and beautiful enough and luminous enough. I think this is one of the best foundations that I own, because I don't like to look like I'm wearing like a complete mask. I like you to be able to see my skin. And this really helps to even out, perfect, but not too much. All right. One that I really, really wanted to like, and I never did. It's from Cover FX. This is in the shade N10. It's their natural finish, oil-free foundation. It's very high coverage. And I've tried it with a brush. I've tried it with a beauty blender. I've tried it with other beauty sponges. I've tried it with my hands, and I never find a way to get this to blend where it looks beautiful all over. So, goodbye. These guys here, I never really liked either of them. And this one you can see, I don't know if you can tell at all, the liquid moving in here in the middle. It separates. This is the serum foundation from The Ordinary, and then I do have the coverage foundation. And one is in, oh, they're both in the shade 1.1N, so it's fair neutral. They're both the same shade, coverage and serum. The serum foundation broke up way too quickly on my skin. I know people love this. I don't like it. It didn't work for me. And then the coverage foundation, this is definitely one where I did get some coverage, but it broke up in weird ways around my nose. And no primer, powder, whatever, and I have a ton of everything, could ever get me to the point where I was happy with the way this performed. All right, one of the ones that I love, but is a hair too dark for me, is the Sheer Glow from NARS. This is in the shade Light 3 Gobi. I think it's too light for me. In the summertime, it's like perfect, but I love this formula. This is beautiful. I'm keeping this. One that I know I'm definitely getting rid of is Time Balm from The Balm Cosmetics. I used to really love their Time Balm concealer, so I went to get this, and this was just a greasy mess on me. It didn't look good. It comes with this little spongy applicator. I tried it twice. I was like, no, this, I mean, I look awful. It aged me. It didn't go well. That one's gone. All right, so Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. I'm down to here with it. And for me, since I don't use foundation every day, much less a lot of foundation when I do wear foundation, the fact that I'm like a quarter of the way through this, I'm like, that's pretty good. I do like this formula a lot. All right, the Maybelline Superstay. Now, formula is fantastic. This is a really, really nice formula, and I love that they have, I'm in the shade here 102 Fair Porcelain. I'm not sure if this is the lightest shade they make, but it's pretty close. But what I like about this is that it shows that there is a way to not only make and package and deliver different types of coverage level at the drugstore in an elegant way, because it has a pump, it's glass packaging. I find that it has really nice formula. I really like the Maybelline. I think I'm going to hang on to that. All right, one, and this one breaks my heart, really breaks my heart. And I don't know if it's one I should see if I can, no, I've tried it too many times. It just doesn't work for me. It's Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Foundation. This is in the shade 1 Fair. I mean, I used quite a bit of it. Like, I remember, I don't use a lot of foundation. If you have as many as I do, you're trying to get through them. I love the packaging. I like that it has a pump. I just really cannot stand the way this looks on my face. It seems like magic for everybody else, hence the name, the Magic Foundation. It worked beautifully for everybody else. I could never get it to look good. And in the end, whether it's user error or bad combinations, I would use this with a Charlotte Wonder Glow, which is kind of like her primer. I would use like this plus everything else that I had that was Charlotte Tilbury, and everything would look good but my skin. I love this foundation. I'm not a fan of this foundation, so that one, sadly. I really am on the fence about the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I like this. I think this is their lightest shade. This is in Blanc. I mean, it's white. I'm too dark right now to wear this since it's still August. It's very, very, very high coverage and even blends in and tends to look more skin-like despite the fact that it's full coverage. I think this works really well on my skin in the wintertime. I might save it for winter. All right. One that I've had for a while, and I just never could really get it to work for me because it was too dark. This is the Cameo Contour Dual-Ended Foundation. So on one end, we have a flesh toned, which was too dark for me. And on the other end, oh, and it just fell out. It was a cream contour. So it's time. It's time. That one's going. All right. What else do I have? Oh, this is hard. The Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I am all about a traditional Korean BB cream because this gives you coverage. I mean, that's a full pump, but for a BB cream, it's really nice. I like that. It smells light and fresh. There's a lot of coverage with this. I'm just going to wipe this off because I don't need this all over my clothing. But I feel like I got a shade that has a little bit of a gray undertone. There are, sadly, not enough shades when it comes to Korean foundation products. This is it says it right here, it's number 13. It starts 21, it goes 13, and then it goes 21, 23, and then something else. There's like 4 or 5 shades of this. This is the lightest. So I got the lightest because Korean foundations aren't always light enough for me. And this one here, I love it. It has SPF 42 and it has a PA rating of +++. Everything about this is nice. It wears well, but it has and maybe if I mix it with this, I'll be able to get rid of some of that gray undertone. Maybe. Okay. This was too much for me. Way, 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 way too much. The Dermacol, I don't know if you've ever tried this. It's serious. It is, you don't need a lot, and it's like full on. But this was just too heavy for me, and it's not something that I would find myself wearing. And I think it's a little too emollient. I mean, it's like, it keeps going. It's heavy duty. It's a little too emollient, even if I decide to wear it as concealer. All right, so the No Filter Foundation from ColourPop. I like this one. This one works well for me. This here, I know that they have repackaged and are doing different foundations now, but this is from a couple years back. This is can I even open it? There we go. It's from Jouer, and this is their #1 Ivory. It's basically just cream foundation in a pan. I don't use it. I don't like it. Here's one that I'm on the fence about. This is from Lancome. This is their Teint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick. And this is in the shade Ivoire, so 90. It's very, very, very light, which is what I need usually. And the weird thing is, on my hand, after blending it in, it looks beautiful. It doesn't always look beautiful on my face. And I don't know whether it's operator error, but I feel like it might be time to let this go. It's very expensive. And I'm like, no, but I don't reach for it. This is another one. I've had this one way too long. It's a beautiful foundation, Estee Lauder's Double Wear. Beautiful, and it's their 1N1, so it's the Ivory Nude. It's their lightest shade, and it's too dark for me. Way, way, way too dark. I hate that because the formula is beautiful. One that I have been liking, this tends to be a little more on the pinky side. This is the Super Balance Silk Makeup in 01 Silk Porcelain, Very Fair Neutral. It's the lightest shade they make. It also can be at times a hair too dark. It definitely more on the pinky side. I wish that Clinique foundations were better at not being pink like pink or yellow, that they would be more neutral, but, or to have same shade, but this one tends pink, this one tends neutral, and you have neutral, pink, yellow, and then we step down in shade. Neutral, pink, yellow, and I know that's asking a lot, but I feel like so many people are doing that these days. This is a great foundation. I like it, and the Super Balance works really well on me. I think I might have to let that one go. Okay, this one here, this is in Porcelain 10. It's the Super Stay. This one didn't work with my skin type. It has titanium dioxide sunscreen. It has acetyl C. I don't even know what acetyl C is. It says it right down here. With acetyl C, oil free. It's a good shade for me, but I just don't feel like this one works as well as this one. So if I'm going to keep one, I'm going to keep this one. All right. This is weird that I even have this. So me and my Lancome lady, we're friendly. We know each other really well, and I've been seeing the same Lancome lady for years. And I've always been a big fan of Lancome foundations. My favorite all-time foundation they don't make anymore, it's the Photogenique, and it was the lightest shade. It was Ivoire 100, and it was like the perfect balance of stayed all day and was radiant and looked like skin, and that's what I think Lancome does so well, at their foundations look very skin-like while still offering that really beautiful foundation coverage that, you know, those of us who choose to wear foundation we want. So this is something that you can't buy this. This is a dramming bottle. So they take this and they fill up a little container like this and they give you your 10-day sample. Well, this is a product that they don't sell anymore. It's the Tante Visionaire, and it's in the shade 100 Ivoire. I know she had a ton of these in the back. She goes, I have your shade. I must have like 10 dramming bottles of that. She goes, I know we don't sell it anymore. They're not continuing to make shades. Once they sell out, that'll be it. She goes, I can give you one of these if you want it. She probably shouldn't have, but she did. And this is like 3 ounces. And this foundation was more than $40. So she just is like, I can't use it. I shouldn't go to waste. Can I just give it to you? And I was like, but I think I've had it for too long. Oh. Goodbye, dramming bottle. All right, so here is one that I'm a little bit divided on. This here is a really nice, I found it was a nice foundation, worked really well for me. It's from Ofra. It's their Absolute Cover Silk Peptide Foundation. The shade is 0.5, so 0.5. It's the lightest shade they make. The problem I had is that when I first got it, I would pump, and I know you always have to prime the pump. So you're sitting there and finally it starts coming out. Well, then mine would come out in fits and spurts, and it would start to like spray in weird ways. There would be a lot of air. I'm like, how is air even getting in there? The bottle is full. It's not as if I'm down at the very bottom. And it quit working. So I emailed Ofra after receiving this, and I said, would you be willing to send me a new pump? And I was expecting them to send me just, you know, like the device. They sent me a whole new bottle of foundation, which I have here. So I swapped out the pump from the new bottle into here. It worked a little bit better. This one can still sometimes get finicky, but I really do like this. So this one's brand new with the defunct pump. I don't even know if I should give this to somebody else, because I don't see myself being able to finish and use this and then get into this. I think I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to get rid of this. I feel bad doing that, but this is one that I actually would use. All right, we're down to the last few things here. I do have this Cicapair from Dr. Jart. It's basically a, what did they call it? A tiger grass color correcting treatment. So it's green in the jar, but as you can tell in the cap, it turns a tint. And it helps to not only with the tiger grass or that cica, to be able to help to reduce redness in your face and kind of treat whatever is aggressively making your skin mad. But it also does have a little bit of coverage, and I like that. So this is definitely one that I'm keeping. This one here, this is the Bye Bye Redness from It Cosmetics. And this one, this is weird because it's very, very, very thick. And this shade here is the lightest shade they had when I ordered this, I think last fall. And it does get rid of some of the redness. Like I have redness around here and then like red as a stripe right through here. That's where I would use it. But it's so much darker. And if this is their lightest shade, it's too dark for what I need. So I'm not gonna keep it. I did used to really love this Wet n Wild, was it their Photo Focus foundation? It's in porcelain, it's their lightest shade. I think there are others that I like better. There are so many that I feel like I want to keep. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. I can't use it all. I do have a sample of the Ultra HD Makeup Forever. It's not even in my correct shade, so I'm not going to keep that. The last two that I have here are in tubes, and I love squeezy tubes with pumps so much, so much. So this one here is the Peach Perfect. This is in Snow. This is your oil-free comfort matte 14-hour. This one works really well. It is very light, and the next shade down is too dark, and I hate that. So I err on the side of too light and add in some darker powder and some bronzer. But I hate it when and I feel like I'm doing that today, much lighter here than I am here. So I will be hanging on to this. And this one I love. This is the Lioli. This is their Triple the Solution BB Cream. This is like no joke when it comes to coverage. This is my favorite Korean BB cream. The only problem is I've had this one too long, and it's expired. It's definitely expired. But it's one of those where even with like a small amount like this, it gives you really good and really beautiful coverage. I like it a lot. So this would be one that when I'm done with a lot of my other ones, I would definitely repurchase this. And the packaging has changed since I got that. So that's it. Finally finished this. I do have like a couple of samples in here. The Jouer, I wanted to try this. I think I would definitely be either Alabaster or Pearl, these front two. I'm getting rid of 21 foundations. I'm only keeping 16. I'm getting rid of more than half. Oh, that's a lot. Look at this. This was full and overflowing, and now there's room for so much more, but I'm not going to buy any more foundation. I'm telling myself now, I'm making myself a promise. No more foundation. So there we go. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know below, what is your favorite foundation? Which is the one that you go through bottles and bottles and bottles, or tubes and tubes and tubes of? I would love to know. And I know that it might be helpful to also mention what your skin type is and what type of coverage you like the most. I tend to like more of a, medium coverage, not a full coverage, but I do have some full coverage, and sometimes I just pack it on. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.